thank you so much for being here. Just seeing you and meeting you face to face is such an honor. And I know many of you maybe already know about my story, but I'm just so thankful here to be a part of a new movement, if you want to say, in Kuwait, with more recognition and more awareness with people with special needs. And I travel all around the world. I've spoken many times across many different nations. And every nation is at a different level of awareness and accessibility and, if you want to say, awareness and education as well. And I just also want to introduce Madam Yvette Isaac up the front here, who I call my Egyptian mom. She has taken me to Egypt twice now, and she joins me here. Can we welcome her here tonight, please? Madam Yvette and I, we have a strong heart for the people with special needs as well. And as much as possible, we work together in trying to bring more awareness and education. We have friends back in the United States who have also developed curriculum that actually have been accepted throughout several universities in teaching the next generation not just awareness or status or anything like that, but actually helping people to know how to help people with special needs. There are many different special needs, obviously, from mental handicaps to physical handicaps, and you know, even in America, there is still not a great education until recently in how to help people with special needs. And so it's wonderful to be here. I was born without arms and legs, for those who do not know me. I'm originally from Australia, and no doctor can tell me why this happened. And for me, it was obviously very difficult to imagine what kind of life I was going to live. My doctors never saw anything or any disability like me, and they actually never thought that I'd ever be able to walk, let alone do what I do. I'm so thankful that my parents were always there to love me and support me, and they are definitely the main reason as to why I am so good looking. You know, they're definitely the reason as to why you know, I have the attitude in my life that I do to never ever give up. And you know, when you have bad days, we all have bad days, whether you're in a wheelchair or not, we all have something to complain about. But in life, we must realize that there is power in counting our blessings. You know, instead of being angry that I wasn't given arms and legs, I'm very thankful for what I have been given, and I motivate people all around the world to let them know that success, I believe, is not what you can actually have at the end of the day. But success to me is what have you done with what you've been given. And that is really what makes a difference for me. And at 27 years old, I was able to go to university and do a double degree in accounting and financial planning. 1 second, audio problem. Got it. Okay. Yeah, we're good. You know, so counting our blessings, you know, the doctors never thought that I'd be able to walk. I actually swim today. I write with my foot. I actually have a plastic holder that goes around the knuckles of my foot, and it holds a pen in place, and I'm able to write with my foot. I was actually the first disabled child. 1, 2. 1, 2. I was actually the first disabled child in Australia in the year of 1990 to be ever integrated into a normal mainstream school. And so obviously there are very big differences in special needs, whether it's mental or physical handicap. And my mum actually was used as an example to prove to the Australian government that integration can actually be possible. Today in Australia, we have integration of not just physical handicap, but also mental handicaps throughout the country, and obviously in the United States as well. And so as much as possible, obviously, I like to use my life as an example that not one creation of God is a mistake. To know that there is all a purpose and not to look down upon anybody else, but to know that we all have something to offer. And there are times in life when we don't understand why things have happened, and some questions maybe we'll never have answers to. But for me, I know that there is always a greater purpose and a plan for each and every one of us, I believe, on earth. All right, let me just check my time. I just want you to, first of all, be aware that later on we will have time for meet and greet and photos, and if you want to come and give me a hug, that's fine. Just don't take me home. But I do have to go by a certain time, but we'll definitely have time enough to meet you all. So thank you so much for coming. So where was I? Was anyone listening? Is this informative? Is this helping you a little bit? Thank you. I'm sorry about that. So, you know, the doctors never thought, you know, that I could walk around and do what I do. And my parents always told me a very important lesson. They said, Nick, you do not know what you can achieve until you try. And even with children with mental handicaps, you don't know exactly how far they can actually come in their mental development unless you try. And if it's a physical, you know, disability as well, physiotherapy as well is something that can alleviate pain and also bring back functionality in someone's body. And so this is all education. When you know something more, I mean, you can only do as best as what you know how to do. And you know, people say, well, Nick, how is the society around the world, from country to country to country? You know, where is, you know, maybe Kuwait on the scale of 1 to 10 on integration and acceptance? What I want to say is, first of all, the United States of America is not paved with gold. Okay? Second of all, there are third world countries that I go to where it is culturally believed that if a child is born with any sort of handicap, whether it's a missing ear or a lazy eye or even as little as a rash on the baby's body, there are some cultures out there in third world countries that see this child as cursed. And if they do not kill the child, they believe that the curse then spreads throughout the village. So if a mother gives birth to a child with a disability, the mother is divorced straight away and rejected from her family for the rest of her life, because the culture says that then she is cursed. I went to some of these countries, and I will not name which country I was at, but I met with the president, and I was able to speak with her a little bit, and I also was able to go to a meeting where we expected 300 people and 10,000 people came. And in front of everybody there was a little girl who was born without arms, without hands, just feet. And people looked at this girl and thought, wow, how come no one's killed this child yet? How come no one has taken this curse away? And so what actually happened is I was actually able to bless the child and give her a kiss and pray for the child. And ever since that has happened, we know that not one child has actually been killed in this village since.